All right, family. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Seti YouTube page, a dynamic page. Y'all know what it is, Black Power, Black Frequency. You feeling that frequency and energy, you should most definitely join. Link right down in the video description is in the chat. Click that link. You'll get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com online marketplace. Official General Sarah Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. I got something for your family. I know you're going to like and love. I want you to get on over there. Check out the catalog. Get you some, get a discount, shop and save and shop. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com. SETI University, over 2,000 videos. Ain't nothing but fire presentations. Over 40 different subjects. We got all the grandmaster teachers, handpicked documentaries and lectures. There is not another website on the planet that can compare or compete for that African truth seeker. You looking for a primary place to do extraordinary research and information. There is no other site like generalseti.com, SETI University. Get over there, become a member today. Everybody knows SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise, we never come. Exclusive live stream, man, and I got something on the menu. If y'all ain't on the shame on you. That's right, we got some flame on the menu. I want you to get over there today. We got over 500 exclusive live streams only to be seen on Patreon. Of course, I take it up a notch. I got to for the family on my Patreon. That's those who want to go to the next level with the general. When it get too hot for YouTube, then we take it to Patreon. So get on over there, family, and take it up a notch. That's right. The General's King Seti is on Rumble, and I'm ready to rumble on Rumble. You understand what I'm saying? The Black Power scholar that won't stumble or fumble. I want you to go over there, become a subscriber on my Rumble, because of course, you know, that's their playground. But goddamn it, I'm coming to disrupt class. I'm coming to disrupt class. So you want to witness that? It's gonna be an extraordinary ride. Become a subscriber today, family. All the family out there, donate to the general. I thank you. I appreciate the fact you appreciate me. Any of the family out there would like to donate to the hardworking general, link right down in the video description in the chat. Click it. I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels. King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. Now, look like, you know, they're going to turn the heat up on the Israelis. That's right. They're considering issuing. Thank you, family. What's up there, Wilson? What's up, good brother? That's right. I'm in the house. Appreciate you as always. That's right. They're considering issuing arrest warrants for Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, and certain cabinet members that the world court very well may be issuing arrest warrants. And that's very critical, because you no longer can play anti-Semitic card. That's obvious. Because a lot of people are, accusing the Israelis of being anti-Palestinian and anti a whole lot of things. You see, and so that card very well may have played out. You see, because, these are supposed to be some of their good friends, These are supposedly some of their good friends here that's issuing this arrest warrant. Now, I don't know how that works. I don't know if there's a vote on whether to arrest a warrant, how, they issue it. Is it by vote? And whether, United States or the European nations can veto the vote. I don't even know what nations are even a part of the world court, because, from what I understand, the Israelis are not a member to the world court, and neither was Russia, where they issued an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin, and Vladimir Putin threatened them, that any type of arrest on Vladimir Putin would be a declaration of war. You see what I'm saying? That would be a declaration of war, and so I don't know how the Israelis will respond to such a threat. Will they, I don't know if they can respond in kind. I don't know if they can respond like Vladimir Putin, because you're getting a lot of your financial backing from the United States, from a lot of the European nations, and so I don't know. They very well might be in the last stages. They campaign over there. They're gonna have to looking like they're gonna have to wrap it up. Or maybe they got cards to play that, nobody, knows that they have, because we have this urban legend, and a lot of people don't believe it's an urban legend, that such members of the Jewish community, such as the Rothschilds and many other higher ups, they have their hand in all forms of government, hierarchies, and religions outside of their own, even into the Vatican, and even into the higher ups in the Arab world. You see, as we have seen that Saudi Arabia and many other Arab nations have, went to the defense of Israel, even on this attack by Iran. You had, to my understanding, Saudi Arabia that helped, and I believe also Turkey very well may have helped. And so, we don't know if they have other cards to play, but I'm quite sure if the warrants are based on, or I don't know, you don't vote for a warrant. There's acting judges, and if the judges issuing a warrant, I don't think it's the same where nations vote on whether a warrant. I don't know. I have to look into it. But that's gonna be critical. That's gonna be critical, and for that to happen, and I would like to see, because when it comes to people whom the Jewish community could bully, if they play the anti-Semitic card on anybody they could bully. But here, I don't know if this is going to be in their favor to play that card. Will they play the anti-Semitic? Because to my understanding that, the United Nations has sanctioned the Israelis more times than any other nation on earth. They have the UN. So I don't know. I mean, we have to think about that. Because when they sanction, a country, I believe, so many nations have to vote on that. So that says a lot, maybe, when we look at how the world very well may feel about the Israelis, I mean, it is what it is. There's no one nation can vote on, yeah, yeah. I don't think it's, one nation that could vote on sanctions. I think it has to be a majority, a certain number of nations have to vote on it for them to issue sanctions. And so that says a lot that, the Israelis have been sanctioned more time than any other nation on the planet. And so is the world anti-Semitic, or, are these fair votes? You see, you can't see, the thing is, you cannot play the card over and over and over and over. Are some of these things legitimate? That's what it boils down to. Are some of these things legitimate in which they have been sanctioned? And so, the UN has just sanctioned the Israelis not too long ago about Gaza. Saying that, and I don't know if they, is genocide. I don't know if they, issue, charges of genocide. That's a heinous crime. You know what I'm saying? That's a heinous crime. For them to issue a genocide charge on. If they end up issuing a warrant for a genocide, then you're in trouble. You're in serious trouble. Genocide is like one of those charges that you just got to come on in. They ain't gonna let that ride. And so, that's gonna be a very sticky issue for the United States, especially if they can issue that warrant without, the input of the United States. If they could issue it, and then it's going to be, well, when the World Court issued a arrest warrant for Putin, then any nation that dealt with Putin and so on and so forth, the United States, played that card that he's a international fugitive, and there's an arrest warrant, and that he could be arrested if he come to your nation, you see. And there was a threat. Even South Africa, they said it was a threat that he could be arrested. So I wonder if an arrest warrant is issued for Netanyahu. Well, they treat Netanyahu the same way that they treat Vladimir Putin, and and because you can't uphold one and not uphold the other. Then the court is a kangaroo court, and that is only for your enemies and shit, and it's not a fair court. You see, it's not a fair court. It is set up for your enemies and your enemies only. But if it's justice, it's for anybody who is out of line with what's right, as far as international law, humanitarian laws. And if you fall out of line with that, then you could be arrested just like anybody else. And so, for Netanyahu, man, he's in trouble. And the thing is, where they knew, and the UN and everybody else, when they established the state of Israel, they knew that this day would come. It's not something that they knew that. Thank you, family. That's right. That's right. That's right. And so, uh, you know, you know, it's been you know a day that would come since you know the state of Israel was you know created. I believe in 19 I believe it was 47, 45, one of them. You know, and so you know it's been a constant it's been a constant state violence, you know, overwhelming violence since that time, and even before they even actually even officially established the state of Israel. That you know the Israelis was already over there, you know, and you know committing you know many atrocities that they're committing today where they wiped out whole, you know, areas, you know what I'm saying, so that they could inhabit it. And really, that's what they, because if nobody's on the land, then that gives them, you know, the ability to take it over. You see, that gives them the right to take it over. So what they doing is they depleting the population and shit, running them out of there, and it's causing tensions with Egypt and of course nations around because you know the thing is you know when you talk about the Palestinians, you know when you talk about the Palestinians, you know they you know Hamas and which really is a offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, and you know, which is a radical group that the Egyptian government is fighting, and so they don't want Hamas, you know, in Egypt. You see, they don't want no affiliates. You know, they really don't want the Palestinians because how do you know who is who? You know, and so they don't want the Hamas, you know, Hamas to come into Egypt and possibly unite with the Muslim Brotherhood and inflame shit in Egypt. And so Egypt is threatening the Israelis. They are threatening the Israelis. You know, I believe is I forget this town is Rafah. You know, it's right there on the border between Egypt and Gaza. You know, it's right there, damn near. And so, you know, Egypt is threatening, you know, because they know what's gonna happen, that a lot of those, you know, people are gonna try to flee into Egypt, and you know, and so that's a crazy situation. That's a crazy situation, you know, where you just literally cleanse, you know, they cleansing the whole land. Nah, but what people have to understand is what you see today. I want y'all to think about this now. I want y'all to think about this. Do you realize, do you realize that we're seeing in real time with what the Bible, you know, said, you know, God ordained the Israelites to go into Canaan, and that you know in the ancient time that land was African land. You see, it was African land, and that God commanded well, not well. I don't know. Moses didn't go into Canaan. I believe it was but he did commit genocide on the Mennonites. You know, Moses committed genocide on the Mennonites, and nobody really talks about that. That was actually the tribe of his own wife. They were Ethiopians, you see, and that he committed genocide, you know, on his own wife's tribe. You know, his children, his two sons by a Mennonite woman, and he committed genocide on them. You know, he was commanded by God to exterminate. And then you have in Joshua and Hezekiah and all of these who would commit genocide that God commanded Joshua and Hezekiah to leave none standing. Don't leave none breathing. You see, man, woman, and child exterminate. And so now when you look at that and you say to yourself, now, how does that apply to God? How does that apply to God when God commanded these prophets that many people, who in all, but they giving up on it. I don't believe that they really into the book like they say they are. I believe a lot of them are Luciferians, but it calls people to look at their religion and ask themselves, what do they really believe? What do they really believe when you actually seeing in real time the extermination of that land? And imagine in ancient times that the original people, the rightful owners, inheritors of the land, the Africans, when they were being exterminated the same way that you see many the Palestinians and who are not the rightful inheritors of the land. They are not the rightful, and that's not legitimizing whatever. I'm not, but what I am saying that they also play a part of genocide on peoples in the land prior to them coming in and taking control and taking ownership, unrightful criminal ownership of land that don't belong to them, that they are not indigenous to and have no right. And so you're seeing it play over and over and over and over, but to see it in real time. Now when we think about that, how do people feel about the Bible? How do people feel about God commanding the Israelites, Joshua and Hezekiah, to do that very, even to a greater extent, to the Canaanites, what Netanyahu is doing to the Palestinians? You see, you got to ask yourself, what do you really believe? What do you really believe? And so, yeah, they knew, and a lot of people know this. They know this. They know this. They know this. They trying to instead. There is no Palestine. There is no Israel. These are the only fictional nations that that have just been created in just the last 50 years or so. And there these lands. You had the Byzantine in control of the land, the Ottoman Turk, and so on, and so there was no I don't them I think they very well may have called it Palestina or something to the manner, but that's under the Romans. That's under the Romans. That has nothing to do with the indigenous peoples of the land, and so we just got to speak on that. But to see, again, to see that, and how the United States will respond to arrest warrants for Netanyahu. That's going, it's going to be serious. Because most nations of power not going to let you just arrest some Pete Squeak nation very well may, allow you to do that. United States is not about to let you out. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They'll fuck around and show your ass. You're not about to arrest the United States president. You can issue whatever fucking warrant you want. It dare you to try to enforce the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Dare you to try to enforce the motherfucker. And that's what Vladimir Putin, most nations of power, they're not gonna let you arrest their goddamn their president. You're not gonna go to Britain, you're not gonna go to France. You see, you're not going to any of them nations and thinking you're gonna arrest their president. Now really why they issued that is to use it, you know, more so against their enemy than themselves. I mean, because, I mean, look at what goddamn George Bush did. He went into goddamn Iraq and fleeced the nation under false pretense. You see, you know, I mean, you can't run up in somebody's house with a fake warrant. You see what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can't sack their house. You see, with a fake warrant, and that's what they did. Well, I mean, look at you know, let's look at what's that? Oliver North, Oliver North. I believe what was it? George Bush. You see, Weinberg, I believe his name was Weinberger. I believe he was the head of Secretary of Defense and all that. When they were fucking working with the goddamn Contra, you know, down in South America, the cartels and shit. You see what I'm saying? Selling drugs in the United States, bringing drugs into the black community, selling drugs. And Ronald Reagan pardoned all they ass. You know what I'm saying? Where they actually committed crimes against the state, and they issue goddamn you know pardons for these criminals. You see, and so I don't believe they ever issue, because ultimately, you know what I'm saying? You know, but you know that's the world court. You know, that's the world court. But I don't believe nobody got the balls to try to arrest the United States president. I don't think no motherfucker really got the balls to do that. You know, and so I don't know if Netanyahu is gotten, you know, if he got enough power to flex or to state, you know, because everybody is not in, you know, in the state of Israel. They not in alignment with Netanyahu. But to have the world court flex on the nation, on its leadership, like that's almost like a coup. No, that's almost like a coup. That's, you know what I'm saying? Where you come in and imagine, you know, you got arrest warrants for the prime minister, the secretary of defense, and yeah, and so on and so forth. And you can remove, you know, a valuable amount of elected leaders of their government. Do you think that they would stand for that? Do you think they would stand for that? You know, that would cause probably an uproar around the world amongst the you know, Israeli community. You know, and yeah, I would like to see, you know, what power they have and what the outcome would be, you know, but it seems to be, you know, that there are some issues going on on the planet that seem to be coming to a head. So we'll see in the next coming days, you know, what happens, you know, with this issue, you know, could arrest or warrants be issued, and how, you know, the supposed I mean, the United States they keep sending aid, and they keep sending a military, and so I don't know. I don't know. Is it a bluff? Is it possible? We'll find out, family. We'll find out. But shit is about to hit the fan, and that's real talk. All right, family. We got a powerful line up today. I mean, stay with me. Look, you know, hit the site, YouTube, and see what I got on the menu. Make sure you support the general. Click some of them links. Support the general so we can continue to do a good work for the people. And I see you, Black, in a couple of minutes. We got a hell of a lineup for today. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black Pop.